The river was like a long silver snake sleeping in the sun. On one side, tall green trees leaned over the water. Birds sang soft songs, insects buzzed, and the air felt warm and heavy. On the other side, thick jungle plants grew so close together that it was hard to see what was hiding inside them. High in one of the trees, a young monkey named Kavi sat on a thick branch. His light brown fur shone in the sunlight, and his long tail hung down like a rope. In his hand, he held a bright red fruit. The juice ran between his fingers. "Ooh," he said happily, "this is perfect." He took a big bite. The fruit was sweet and soft. It filled his mouth with the taste of sunshine and rain. He closed his eyes for a moment to enjoy it fully. Kavi loved this tree. In the hot season, it gave him shade. In the rainy season, it gave him shelter. In almost every season, it gave him fruit red, orange, and gold. He knew each branch, each leaf, and each safe place where he could sit and watch the world. The world below his tree was quiet. The river moved slowly, making soft sounds as it touched the stones. A dragonfly flew low over the water, its wings shining blue. Kavi swung his legs and looked down, feeling relaxed and strong. He believed he understood this place. He knew which branches were weak, which snakes were dangerous, and which birds were friendly. But there was one part of his world he did not know well: the deep water. He could see his own reflection sometimes, broken by small waves. He could see fish jumping and disappearing. But he did not know what moved silently under the surface. As he ate, he felt eyes watching him. He looked around. The trees were the same. The leaves were the same. Then he saw them. Two yellowish eyes just above the surface of the water, not far from the fruit tree. They belonged to a crocodile. The crocodile's body was mostly under the water, but his eyes and the top of his head were visible. Slowly, he moved closer to the bank. Kavi's heart beat a little faster, but his curiosity was stronger than his fear. He leaned forward on the branch. "Hello," he called down. "Are you enjoying the river?" The crocodile blinked. "Yes," he said in a deep, slow voice. "And I see you are enjoying the fruit." Kavi smiled. "This tree is wonderful," he said. "The fruits are the sweetest in the whole jungle." The crocodile's eyes watched the red fruit in Kavi's hand. He moved a little closer, the water breaking softly around his back. "My name is Roko," the crocodile said. "And you are?" "Kavi," the monkey answered. "Nice to meet you, Roko." And just like that, a new connection began between a monkey in a fruit tree and a crocodile in the deep, dark water. After that first hello, Kavi and Roko started to meet almost every day. In the mornings, when the mist was still on the river, Kavi would climb to his favorite branch. He held a handful of fruit, swung his long tail, and looked down at the quiet water. "Roko, are you there?" he called. Soon, two yellow eyes would appear on the water's surface, as silent as floating leaves. "I am always here," Roko answered. His deep voice echoed softly under the green trees. "The river is my home." Kavi laughed his voice bright and clear. "And this tree is mine," he said. "Maybe we are neighbors." At first, their talks were simple. They shared small parts of their worlds, like two people looking at each other through an open window. Kavi spoke about the sky, the birds, and the feeling of jumping from branch to branch. He described how the wind felt against his fur when he flew through the air. He told funny stories about slipping on wet leaves and landing in a nest of surprised baby birds, who chirped at him with wide-open beaks. Roko spoke about the slow, secret life of the river. Stories were quiet and deep, like the water he lived in. He told Kavi about the smooth, cool stones at the bottom of the river, polished by the water for many years. He described the silent fish that moved like shadows and the way the moon looked on the water at night. He said the moon's reflection was like a silver path that only he could see when everyone else was sleeping. One sunny afternoon, Kavi looked down at Roko and had a new idea. "You cannot climb up here to my home," he said, "but maybe my home can still give you something." He picked a ripe red fruit from a branch. He brought it to his nose, smelled its sweet perfume, and smiled. "Open your mouth, my friend," he called down to the river. Roko lifted his head from the water and opened his wide jaw. His many teeth looked sharp in the sunlight, but his yellow eyes were soft and curious. Kavi aimed carefully and threw the fruit. It sailed through the air in a perfect arc and landed right inside Roko's mouth. Roko closed his jaws, but he did it gently. He bit down, and the sweet, warm juice spread across his tongue. He had eaten many things in his long life: fish, birds, and other animals, but almost never fruit. This taste was new, was bright, and full of sunshine. "This is good," he said slowly, his deep voice filled with surprise. "Very good." Atia's heart filled with happiness. "Aka?" It felt warm and light, like a little sun inside his chest. "Then we will make it a habit," he said happily. "Every time you visit, I will give you some fruit from my tree." And he did. Day after day, Kavi dropped the sweet, colorful fruits into the river. Roko caught them in his mouth or picked them from the surface of the water. Sometimes Kavi missed, and a fruit would splash into the river and float away. When this happened, they both laughed together. Kavi's high, cheerful laugh and Roko's low rumble mixed with the gentle sounds of the river. As time passed, Kavi began to feel proud of their strange friendship. "Look at me," he thought as he swung from a high branch. "I have a friend in the water. Other monkeys are afraid of crocodiles, but I talk with one every day. Maybe I am especially brave, and maybe I am especially clever." Roko also felt something new growing inside him. At first, he had only been curious about the small, chattering monkey in the tree. Then, he had enjoyed the sweet taste of the fruit. But now, he started to enjoy the sweet feeling of being needed. He liked hearing Kavi's stories. "This little monkey depends on me to listen to him," Roko thought as he swam slowly in the cool water. "And I depend on him for the taste of fruit. We are important to each other." The friendship felt real and strong, like the old tree on the riverbank. But far away, on the other side of the river, someone else began to notice Roko. Someone saw him coming home late in the afternoon with the sweet juice of fruit still on his teeth. And this, someone had a heart that was not so sweet at all. Across the river, in a muddy place where roots broke the ground like hard fingers, Roko had a nest. It was not beautiful, but it was his home. There, his mate Lyra waited for him most evenings. Her green body was strong and smooth, her eyes bright and sharp. One day, when Roko returned from the fruit tree, Lyra narrowed her eyes. "You smell strange," she said. Her voice was low and quiet. "Not like fish, not like turtle. Sweet, what is that?" Roko smiled in his slow, heavy way. He was happy to see her. "A fruit," he said. "The monkey across the river gives it to me. It tastes different. You should try it sometime." "Monkey," Lyra repeated, her head turning slightly. "You are talking to a monkey." Roko nodded. He wanted her to understand his new happiness. "He sits in a big fruit tree," he explained. "His name is Kavi. He is funny. He tells stories, and his tree is full of fruit all year. It is a good friendship." Lyra's tail moved slowly in the water. She did not look happy. "Monkey," she said again, her voice thoughtful now. "Monkeys are not only good for fruit, Roko, they are good for meat. And the heart of a monkey who eats sweet fruit every day." She paused, making her voice soft and tempting. "Must be very soft and rich." Roko's smile disappeared. The air around them felt suddenly cold. "What are you saying?" he asked, his voice low. Lyra looked at him with shining eyes. "You sit under his tree and he gives you fruit," she said. "He trusts you. He thinks you are his friend. If you bring him here, close to this bank, we can have more than fruit. We can have his heart." Roko stared at her. The river, which had felt like his friend, now felt colder. "But he is my friend," Roko said slowly. "We talk every day. He shares with me." Lyra lifted her head, her voice growing stronger. "And what about your family?" she asked. "What do you share with us?" "Fruit juice on your teeth and long stories about a monkey in a tree." Her words were sharp, like small stones. "We are hungry too," she continued. "Fish are harder to find this season. Turtles hide. You bring nothing home, Roko. Only talk. Maybe you remember how to open your mouth for fruit, but you forget how to use your teeth." Roko's jaw tightened. "That is not fair," he said. But somewhere in his chest, her words found a small, weak place. He had enjoyed the fruit and the friendship so much that he had not noticed how little he brought back for his family. Lyra moved closer, her voice softer now, like the quiet river at night. "Listen," she said. "I am not saying you must stop being clever. I am saying you must be clever in a different way. Use his trust. Invite him for a ride. Tell him you want to show him something special on this side of the river. Once he is close, we will finish it quickly. No pain, no long fear. One strong bite, and our hunger is gone. Your problem is solved." Roko closed his eyes for a moment. He saw Kavi's smiling face in his mind. The way the monkey waved his arm before throwing a fruit, the sound of his laughter when a fruit fell into the water. Agas. Then he saw Lyra's hungry eyes and remembered the empty places in the river where fish used to swim. Two pictures, two feelings, pulling him in two different directions. I need time to think, he said finally, his voice quiet. You do not have much time, Lyra replied. Hunger does not wait. That night, Roko floated in the quiet part of the river, staring at the stars. The water around him felt heavy, like a sad blanket. He did not want to hurt his friend, but he also did not want to disappoint his family. When the sun began to rise, he still did not have an answer. But the river did not stop moving, and soon it carried him back to the fruit tree. The next morning, the sun shone warmly on the river. Birds sang in the bright green trees. When Kavi, the little monkey, saw his friend Roko in the water below, he felt a familiar happiness. He picked not one, but two sweet yellow fruits from the tree. You are early today, Roko, Kavi called down. His voice was full of energy. Maybe you were too excited for breakfast. Roko lifted his big head from the calm river. His yellowish eyes looked tired, but Kavi did not see it at first. Yes, the crocodile said, his voice slow and heavy. I have been thinking. Kavi smiled and threw one of the fruits down. Roko caught it in his wide jaw, but he did not smile back. He just swallowed it quickly. Kavi tilted his head, his long tail still. Is something wrong? he asked. Roko hesitated. The water moved softly around him. In his mind, he heard Lyra's sharp words. He felt the cold, empty feeling of his nest without his family. He felt pulled between his friendship with Kavi and his duty to his own kind. But then he remembered something else. A crocodile's strength is not only in its jaw or its tail. A crocodile can also be strong in its mind. He had to make a choice. For now, he decided to follow Lyra's plan, but his heart felt heavy inside his chest. Kavi, he said, making his voice sound as gentle as he could. You always share your world with me. You tell me about the sky, the fruit, and the birds. I would like to share my world with you, too. Kavi's bright eyes opened wide with curiosity. You mean the river? he asked, his voice filled with wonder. Yes, Roko replied. There is a beautiful place across the water, okay? It is a small island with trees and flowers you have never seen. I can take you there on my back. Okay, you cannot swim so far, but I can. You will be safe with me. Kavi's heart jumped with excitement. A new island, new trees, new fruit. He could already imagine the new stories he would tell the other monkeys. That sounds amazing, he said. Can we go today? Today, Roko answered. Kavi's tail began to swing back and forth with joy. He dropped the second fruit, forgetting all about it, and climbed down the tree. He used the branches like a ladder until his paws touched the soft earth. It felt strange to be on the ground. He spent most of his life in the high branches. He walked carefully to the edge of the river. Roko swam close to the bank. He turned his long body so his wide, rough back was like a bridge. Climb on, he said softly. hold on to my neck. Just try not to move too much when we are in the deep water. Kavi put one hand on Roko's scaly skin. For just a moment, a small, cold thought whispered in his mind. Asterisk monkeys do not ride crocodiles. But Kavi pushed the thought away. This is different, he told himself. Asterisk, Roko is my friend. He eats fruit. He laughs at my jokes. He has never, ever hurt me. Asterisk, he climbed onto Roko's back. He wrapped his arms around the crocodile's strong neck, being careful not to squeeze too hard. The river water felt very close now, cool and dark. Ready? Roko asked. Yes, Kavi said, trying to make his voice sound brave. Roko began to swim. The fruit tree on the bank grew smaller and smaller behind them. The water around them was deep and quiet. Kavi could feel Roko's powerful body moving smoothly through the river. For a few moments, he was filled with awe. He had never seen his home from this place before. The line of trees looked different. The blue sky felt bigger. The wind touched his fur in a new way. Then, when they were in the middle of the river, halfway across, Roko's body changed. He started to swim a little slower. Kavi could feel the muscles in Roko's shoulders grow tense under his hands. Kavi, Roko said, his voice low and strange. There is something I did not tell you. A small, cold seed of fear started to grow in Kavi's stomach. What is it? He asked. Roko did not turn to look at him. Kavi kept his eyes on the far bank. My mate, he said slowly. She wants to eat the heart of a monkey who eats sweet fruit every day. The world suddenly felt very big and very dangerous. The river seemed wider, the sky seemed higher, and the island in front of them looked very, very far away. Kavi's fingers tightened around Roko's neck. Now he understood. This was not a friendly invitation. It was a trap. His feet were high above the deep, dark water. He could not jump. He could not run. He could only think. The water around them felt very deep and very cold. Kavi was far from the safety of his tree, sitting on the back of a friend who was no longer a friend. His small heart began to beat fast inside his chest. So, Kavi said, his voice slow and careful. Your mate wants to eat my heart, Ko answered, and his voice was heavy, full of a strange sadness. She believes your heart must be soft and rich because you eat sweet fruit every day. Kavi looked at the dark water moving around them. And you? He asked softly. What do you want, Roko? For a long moment, Roko was quiet. He thought of Lyra's sharp words and her hungry, waiting eyes. But he also thought of Kavi's happy laughter. He remembered the sound of sweet fruits falling from the tree, a gift just for him. He remembered the warm feeling of being trusted, of having a friend who was different from him but liked him anyway. I do not know anymore, Roko said, and the words were honest and heavy. Kavi looked at the far bank of the river. It was still so far away. Even if Roko changed his mind now, they were in the middle of the deep water. A quick jump, a fast turn, and Kavi would be thrown into the river. He could not escape. He had to use the only thing he had that was stronger than Roko's teeth and powerful body. He had to use his mind, Roko Kavi said, forcing his voice to stay calm and soft. You are my friend, so I will not shout or try to fight you. But I must tell you something important. What? Roko asked, his slow swimming knot changing. Kavi took a deep breath. A monkey does not keep his heart inside his chest when he is up in the trees, he said. We keep our hearts in a special, safe place, high in the branches, close to the fruit. It is too dangerous to carry a heart when we jump from branch to branch. So today, my heart is in the tree. It is not with me. For a moment, the only sound was the river water moving around them. Then, Roko stopped swimming. He turned his big head as much as he could, trying to see Kavi's face with one yellow eye. Your heart is in the tree, he repeated slowly. Kavi said. He tried to sound a little annoyed, as if Roko should already know this simple fact. I did not know your mate wanted it. If you had told me, I would have carried it with me. Now, we must go back. You cannot bring an empty monkey to her. That would be very sad for everyone. Roko's brain, which was used to slow, simple, physical things, worked hard. He did not understand hearts and chests and branches very well. But he understood one thing very clearly. If he arrived with a monkey but no special soft heart, Lyra would be very angry. His plan already felt wrong and heavy. Now, it also felt useless. We should go back, Kavi repeated quietly. Then I can get my heart, and you can decide again who you want to be. Those last words were soft, but they touched something deep inside Roko. Asterisk, who do you want to be? A friend? A thief? A hungry animal with a full stomach and an empty soul? Slowly, very slowly, Roko turned his strong body around in the water. He began to swim back to the side with the fruit tree. Each movement felt difficult, as if he was pushing through thick mud, not water. His shame was a heavy weight on his back, heavier than the small monkey he carried. Kavi held on, his breathing slow and quiet. When they reached the bank, Kavi did not wait. He jumped from Roko's back, grabbed a root near the water, and climbed up the tree faster than he had ever climbed in his life. Kay's heart, which was very much inside his chest, was beating like a drum. He did not stop until he was high above the water, safe in his home. From there, he looked down. Ko floated near the bank, his body still, his head low in the water. Kavi, Roko said quietly, his voice full of pain. I am sorry. Kavi's tail wrapped tightly around a branch. You were ready to sell my life for one meal, he answered, his voice clear and sad. Is that what our friendship was worth to you? Roko closed his yellow eyes. I listened to hunger and to bad advice, he said. I forgot what you had given me. Fruit stories, company. I forgot that a full stomach does not feel good if your heart feels dirty. Kavi watched him for a long, silent moment. You cannot eat, trust, and make it grow back, he said wisely. Once you break it, it is very hard to repair. The river moved between them, a quiet, wide space. But, Kavi added softly, I will let you leave with your body safe today, Roko. That is my gift to you. You gave me rides, and listen to my stories in the past. I will keep those good memories, not the memory of how you almost ended me." Roko opened his eyes. "Will we ever talk again?" he asked, his voice small. Kavi looked at the sweet fruits around him, at the wide blue sky, and at the shining water below. "We will not talk like before," he said. "Trust is slower than a river when it wants to grow. Maybe one day, from far away, I will wave at you, but I will never ride on your back again." Roko accepted the words like heavy stones. He nodded his head once, a slow, sad movement. Then he turned and swam away, his green body slowly disappearing under the water. Kavi watched him go. Then he sat on his branch and placed a hand on his chest. His heart was beating fast, but it was safe. He picked one sweet fruit and looked at it. "This," he thought, "is not only sweet, it is also a reminder. Not every smiling face is safe. Not every friendly word is clean. But a clever mind and a calm tongue can save your life." Okay. As the sun moved across the sky, the river shone. A temptation, a lie, and a lesson. Trust is precious. And sometimes, the smallest body holds the sharpest mind. Kavi was able to escape from a very dangerous situation. He did this because he stayed calm and used his clever mind. He did not panic. He thought about Roko and what Roko wanted, and he created a smart lie to save his own life. This story teaches us to be careful about who we trust. It is important to choose our friends wisely. Think about your own friendships. Is the trust strong and true?